Inflammation can be a huge, broad topic, right? I think we all have seen or felt what it's like to roll an ankle. Ankle gets hot, red, swollen, and we struggle to move that joint. That's a body's ability to protect itself. When that joint swells up like that, that's because our ligaments were stretched to a complete max. And so now that swelling is gonna protect that joint so you cannot, again, re-hurt yourself the next time you go to put that foot down. There's a healthy amount of inflammation and a non-healthy amount of inflammation, right? The other side of inflammation is a side that I don't talk about a lot in the office, but it's what we're eating. Unfortunately, the American diet is causing, it's blatantly obvious, right? It's causing inflammation in people's bodies. We're swollen, our joints hurt, we have these reactions after we eat, we have all these sensitivities going on. So inflammation in general, when I talk about it, is a response to a mechanical process of exercise. The downside of this is that we can be hurting, stiff, we don't feel very well, and so we don't think we can exercise, or we're scared to exercise because we think we're gonna cause more harm. Sometimes in reality though, we feel that way because we aren't exercising. And so it is a little bit of a catch-22 there, but we have to find a pattern or an exercise that's small enough for you to get started. And if that is walking for 5 minutes around the block, start there. If that is getting down and doing 3 push-ups from your knees every single day for a week, I bet by day 8 you can do 5. All right, so we must know that as long as there's not true traumatic injury, right? As long as there's not true joint injury, such as torn ligaments, etc., we need to find a small enough activity to get your body in motion so that way you can self-manage some of your own inflammation, all right? One of my videos, we talked about mitochondria, right? It's just an example of one of the many chemicals in our body that are actually anti-inflammatory. So when we start to get moving, our chemical processes inside our body release this chemical that cuts down on our pain. That is also why sometimes we feel like a blob, we go exercise, and all of a sudden we feel much better. We have energy and we're like, man, I'm so glad I went and did that. That's the release of chemicals, mitochondria, endorphins, all these other chemicals that help with anxiety, depression, aches, pains. So to review, inflammation is a very complicated process. There's a healthy amount, there's an unhealthy amount. We need to assess what we eat, how we sleep, what we drink, and then how we move. And that's the component that I spend a lot of time on, is just motion is lotion. There's a mentor of mine that uses that over and over and over again. So we cannot demonize pain. We cannot demonize inflammation. Because if we do, we automatically are in a negative feedback loop, and it's gonna be really hard for you to get moving. Accept where you're at, start very slow, and let's get you moving, because it is going to produce a massive change in your body.